The Mother Who Kept One Plate on the Table. Part 1. The Son Who Never Came Home. Every night at exactly 9 p.m., an elderly woman named Kamla Devi placed 3 plates on her dining table. One for herself, one for her husband, Raghunath, and one for her son, Amit. But Amit hadn't come home for 8 years. Their small house stood at the end of a quiet lane in Jaipur. Every evening, Kamla cooked Amit's favorite food dal, roti, aloo sabzi, and kheer. Her husband would often say, "Kamla, stop making food for him. He isn't coming." But Kamla would smile. A mother doesn't stop waiting just because her son is late. Raghunath would say nothing. He knew she was hiding her pain. 8 years earlier, Amit had left home after a terrible argument with his father. Amit wanted to move to Mumbai and start his own business. Raghunath refused. "You will fail," he had shouted. Amit had replied angrily, "Maybe I will fail, Papa. But at least I'll fail trying." That night, Amit packed his bag. Before leaving, he looked at his mother. "Ma, I'll come back when I've achieved something." Kamla had grabbed his hand. "Beta, you don't have to achieve anything to come home." But Amit left. For the first few months, he called regularly. Then the calls became fewer. Eventually, they stopped completely. Nobody knew what happened to him. But Kamla never gave up hope. Every night, she kept his plate on the table. One rainy evening, Raghunath became seriously ill. Kamla sat beside him in the hospital. He looked at her and whispered, "Kamla, I made a mistake." She held his hand. "What mistake?" "I should never have stopped Amit." Kamla's eyes filled with tears. "You can still tell him." Raghunath shook his head. "I don't even know where he is." That night, Kamla returned home alone. As she entered the house, she noticed something strange. The 3rd plate was already sitting on the table. She froze. She hadn't placed it there. Beside the plate was a small envelope. Her hands began to tremble. On the envelope were 4 words. "For my ma, Amit." Kamla couldn't breathe. She slowly opened it. Inside was a photograph of Amit. But he looked completely different. Older. Tired. And standing beside a little girl. On the back of the photograph, someone had written, "Ma, I didn't stay away because I stopped loving you." Kamla's eyes filled with tears. Then she read the final sentence. "I stayed away because I thought Papa would never forgive me." Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. Kamla looked toward it. Her heart began beating faster. She walked slowly toward the door. Another knock. She opened it. A little girl stood outside holding a man's old photograph. She looked at Kamla and asked, "Are you Amit's mother?" Kamla couldn't speak. The little girl smiled sadly. "Then I think you should know what happened to your son." To be continued. Red Heart. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to our channel for more emotional stories. Speech balloon comment below. What would you do if you finally found someone you had been waiting for your whole life? Bell subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next story. Thank you for watching. Red Heart.